Hi everyone, it's Winnie Wamlanga here again. Thank you for joining me for yet another series. In the series today, we'll be looking in depth at a new topic, a new, I love to call it series because then if we talk about series, then it's lessons embedded within the series. And so today, starting today, we'll be getting into another series. And but before we do that, I just wanted to point out for any one of you that's joining us, please, it will be really good if you went back to the previous series and try to see what we've learned. But as a reminder for any one of you that has been with us during this journey, it was fast wisdom that we talked about, and um, we were trying to look at the fact that what if a person has gotten a lot exposure to information, but we've been there before, or we even know people. I'd say that I'm not here to judge anyone, but I'm also here to share my experiences, because I remember having gained a lot of information because of the degrees that I had piled up and the many certifications. But actually, that all didn't produce any results for me. It is until I decided to work what I had learned that I started seeing results in my life. And I guess this is the reason why I decided this journey, a journey where I believe that yes, even after even if I have gone through this, I can help others, or we can walk through this journey with anyone that may be needing help, or not mentorship, or not coaching. But yeah, it is a journey where we can learn from each other. And please feel free to comment and like and subscribe, such that each and every time I make any uploads, you do receive this information coming to you right away. And yes, it was wisdom. The When you have gained exposure to information and you go out and do what you understand, or make decisions that are good, that is when you can see results in your life. But without that, we determine that if there is no results in life, it is as good as, it's like you wasted time. And so, again, I'm here because someone pointed out the fact that yes, they've made decisions that were not good, but then how do you come away from the mistakes that you have made? And so I remembered the fact that yes, I've made so many of them, and that is why this is the reason I created this channel, basically. And so I decided to call this series the Reset Button. Why the reset button? I was thinking about the fact that what if there is one day I was working on my computer and I had issues with my computer. And so what I decided to do was to call the IT person who really lives in Germany. I didn't have to go to them. I decided to call them. And so when I called them, they told me to grant them access to my computer. And so now it was up to me to ask them to request to grant them access to my computer, or decide that I could do things myself, because yes, I had done everything I could do. I had tried to delete, I had tried all these buttons, but nothing was working. And so when I called him, he got into my computer. But this time I was careful to observe, because I was thinking to myself, each and every time I have issues, I don't want to call them. I want to know what really happened. And so he recommended that any time that I have issues with my computer, my laptop, I just need to reboot, or even restart my computer, right? And when you look at it, it's something that, I should have thought about it, but I hadn't thought about it. And when you reboot, or but this time he said that because I had messed up so much with the computer, he decided that we push it back to the original settings, or the default settings. Sometimes in life you make decisions which really make your life so messed up that you have to, when you have tried everything, then you have to reboot, or you have to ask someone to help you. This can be a person that you see, or this can be a person that you do not see. Okay? Yes, now that I know that there is a person that I don't see, who is even closer than the ones that I see, I have determined that each and every time that I get into trouble, unless, of course, I don't hear from him, I listen to what he's saying. In most cases, he has answers. He responds. Sometimes it's that fast. But I've also made sure that if I am looking for something, I pointed out that there's a time I was looking for jobs, and I would even spend months looking for jobs. Instead of being unproductive, then I've decided that this wastes time. So then I have determined that any time that I need help, I can spare even a month or even a few months waiting for advice as I go ahead doing other things. You might ask me that, oh, Winnie, how do you do that? I've gotten into the habit of writing things that I don't understand that are happening in my life, and then I ask for guidance. And as I'm asking for guidance, I'm meditating on these things. And so when I'm talking about thinking, then it's bringing me to the fact that you use your brain to think. And so when I was thinking about the computer, then this computer has similarities with the human body. Yes, someone else created the human body. That is why humans never create. They've never created anything. They try, but they can never even create a drop of blood or even a cell. Yeah. But humans have gone ahead and manipulated the human body to have, just like a computer system, which is good. The computers have really helped us so much. It's because of the computer that I'm here and I can communicate with you. But then when you look at the fact that we sometimes have decided to feel like we are able to create or recreate our own lives, then it's scary. If someone created you or made you, you cannot fix yourself. You have to go back to the person that made you to fix you. When the computer is stuck, you are not going to sit looking at the computer to fix itself. Someone that is more capable of fixing it will do that. If you don't have the capabilities, you ask for help. Sometimes you pay, sometimes you don't have to. But in most cases, you pay. And so if you do not want to pay, there is the easiest way that is sure does not fail. And that is what I'm introducing in this series, the reset button. We'll start with the basics. I've introduced to you the time when I needed help and I asked for it. But I can tell you that this person that I asked, who was living in Germany, I had to, he told me that, oh, so now you've called me, I'm going to get into the app called AnyDesk, and I cannot get in unless you grant me permission. So that is when we get into the fact that this person that I'm talking about will not be able to get in and help you unless you request them to. And so it is when you request them to sincerely and you need help and you're willing to listen and do what they tell you to do, then you can be able to get out of the situation that you're in. Okay? And so a reset button is really an important button because if it clears memory. The computer, if I'm just thinking about the computer now, that when the computer is messed up, when it has so much, it clears the computer's memory and then it causes it to reboot. As humans, our brains, we use them. We do have brains, and those are connected. When you look at the computer system and the human body or system, the part for the computer that's closely related to the human brain is the central processing unit. Okay, so when we think, we use the brain, and that is the mind. what you're thinking about. What are you thinking about? What are you putting into your mind? Because then whatever you're putting into your mind or see is what will come out and will determine a person by whatever a person is. That is what they'll bring out, and whatever you put in your brain is what we'll see looking at you. Okay. And so there are some similarities that I want us to talk about between the human brain and the CPU or the computer, and that is the fact that we do both, the human and computer do receive information or instructions, right? And then they both retrieve information from somewhere. They also have the capability to store this information. They both have the capability to process this information. And then they also have the capability to make decisions. And then lastly, both can communicate this information. And so when you think about the fact that, yes, we have 6 similarities between this, and we'll be talking about them in depth, do not worry. But then you understand that these machines are limited. It is the human that programs them. So as a result of that, they are not adaptable as the brain. The human brain has adaptability, but the machines or computers, they do not have that. Because of that, their problem-solving approaches are quite different, and also creativity. Machines are not creative. They just throw out whatever has been fed into them, and we'll talk more about that. And they don't have emotion or desires or intuition, and so. But we'll focus mainly on the 6 most important ones, and that is why I thought about the fact that if I'm talking about wisdom, if we've learned about wisdom, what is in your brain? Because it's your mind that makes you a wise person. Your brain connects is what is connected to your decision-making process. And so as I always want to have evidence. And in this series, the most important book that we'll be using would be the Bible. I love calling it the manual because I've found it dependable over the years or decades that I've used it. It has results. And the book that we'll look at is the book of Proverbs. And this time we'll look at Proverbs 23, verse 7. This is a proverb that is, I'll use the American Standard Version. And this, I believe this verse is a verse that I believe that many of us have heard about. But I don't know whether we think about it when we really read it. Do we really understand what it says? Because if it says that, for as he thinketh within himself, so is he. So this means that whatever you think about, so that is what you are. When you think bad, when you think you're a failure, that is who you are. When you think you're a successful person, that is who you are. Because then whatever you're thinking about, you will speak. Sometimes you see people speaking to themselves, cursing themselves and saying words like, I'm a failure, I will never make it. And you're thinking to themselves, please hit that rebut button. When you click that reset button, things are going to work out. Believe me, I've been there before, and I decided to press the reset button, and I'm seeing results coming to manifest in my life. The next one is Proverbs 16, verse 3, which says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. What plans do you have? Maybe you've done so much. I used to do so much. I would go to bed so tired, and I would ask myself things like, what have I accomplished? And for sure, I had not accomplished anything. But it's until I was wise enough to discover that if I do not know something, I always have to ask someone for help. And I've always received help whenever I ask for it. Okay? You can do the same. Another verse is the one taken from Colossians chapter 3, verse 2, which says that set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. As we start this series, you are thinking about the fact that maybe you don't have food to eat. It's possible. Maybe you don't have rent, you're behind on your rent or mortgage. I was like you. I have been in that situation before where I did not, instead of focusing on the fact that there is a person who created me and there is a reason why I'm here, because I was not, if I didn't have a reason to exist, then I wouldn't be alive. So when I saw that things were not working out, I decided to ask for help. And I got the help from the book I call the Holy Bible. It is called the Holy Bible. I refer to it as the manual, instruction manual. Because then when I was seeing lack, I used to go read scriptures, verses like, but my God shall supply all of my needs according to his riches and glory. When I felt like I was hopeless, I would go and declare words like, I know the plans you have for me are to prosper me and not to harm me. So instead of self-pity and thinking about my environment, I decided to proclaim these words. Whichever faith you believe in. Some of you have not yet been introduced to the faith that to my faith, or some of you are practicing other faith. I'm not here to condemn anyone. I'm just here to encourage each one of you that yes, you can help yourself out of the situations that you're in life. Okay. And so then there is Matthew 6:33. This when I read this one, I was amazed. I thought to myself, it was like I had never heard about this one before, because of the fact that